Hi everybody, welcome to Khong Driving, and today we are going to take a very close look at the all-new Nissan Almera. This car was just launched very recently, and I'm sure a lot of you are very interested as to know how this car will fare against its competitors. Now, in terms of competition, this car falls smack in the middle between the Honda City and the Vios. So in terms of length, it's a little bit shorter than the City, a little bit longer than the Vios. In terms of width, it's in the middle between the two, but the difference is only like less than 10 mm between the three of them. In terms of height, this is the highest at 1.5 meters, but the difference is very little. So height only translates into headroom if headroom matters to you. And in our first video, we had Michael sit inside, he's 6'5". But the most important thing about this Almera is the wheelbase. It is the longest of the three at 2.620 mm. Sorry, meters. It's 2.620 mm, and the Honda City is 20 mm shorter, whilst the Vios is 2.550 mm only. So, which means this car has the longest wheelbase. And what does wheelbase mean? It translates into more space between the front and rear wheels, because that's what wheelbase is, the measurement of the distance between the center of the front wheel to the center of the rear wheel. And of course, this is not the first Almera that's been built, and the Almera is very well known for its interior space. The Almera comes in three variants, and the prices range from 79,000 to 85,000 to 91,000. This is the top of the range, and top of the range, called the VLT, has certain features that the others don't have. For now, we just talk about the external. It gets bigger wheels and also LED lights on the outside. Now, on top of that, all three models have a very important thing, which is the FCW, which is front collision warning and emergency braking. So that is a very important feature that people like, and it is on all three vehicles. On top of that, the vehicle also has the standard, what you call the VDC, Vehicle Dynamic Control, traction control, and of course the ABS, EBD, and all those little things that are related to that. The VLT gets 16-inch wheels, while the other two get 15 only. So for this one, which is the 16-inch, the tire size is 205/55 R16, and at the front, the suspension is a McPherson strut, and the brakes are ventilated discs with a single floating caliper. And at the back, you get a torsion beam arrangement, which is in the shape of a U, and of course drum brakes. The back part of the car actually looks quite attractive, starting from this sloping rear roof line that looks a bit like a coupe, and also this garnish here helps to make it look a bit sleeker. So you can see here it's kind of dark gray, and the continuation is down here with this black surround for the rear combination lights, and of course also complemented by the little mini spoiler here. And at the bottom here, you have this carbon fiber-like finish that helps to break up the line, and really down at the bottom here, there is a kind of a mini diffuser. So overall, it gives the Almera a very sporty and modern look. Okay, let's open the boot. You can of course use the remote and unlock it like that, or you can press the little button here and you can open the boot. Now, this boot is quite nice. It's got 482 liters of storage space, and the good thing is the floor is flat, And of course the rear seats will fold down, yeah, they split and fold. And let's explore. Ah, wow, there's actually quite a lot of extra space here. You can see here there's a little space saver down there, and these are just little paddings here to hold up this piece of cardboard. The tools and jack are here, very nicely stored, so you can actually put a lot of stuff inside here that you don't want people to see. Okay, so that's the boot. The heart of the car lies in this 1 liter 3-cylinder engine, which is made of aluminum, and of course it's very, very light, which explains why this car is so much lighter than the others. But having 1 liter is not a disadvantage, because this engine comes with a turbocharger and it delivers 100 PS and 152 Newton meters of torque. So in terms of overall power, it's in the ballpark of the Honda City and also the Vios, but it has 152 Newton meters of torque, and it's available from like 2000 RPM all the way through to max. And so this car will have no problem driving in the city or when you are climbing up the mountain. And transmission, of course, drive is to the front wheels through an electronically controlled CVT, which also has simulated gear ratios to give you that sensation of a gear change. To unlock the car is very simple. You can either use the key fob, or you just put your finger on the little button here, push, and there you are. The top 2 grades get leather seats and an 8-inch touchscreen, and the VLT has got, in addition, a 360-degree view camera, and you can toggle to see. Seat adjustments are mechanical, quite simple, fore and aft, and of course the steering also has telescopic and up and down adjustments. I like this steering. It's a flat bottom, and it's about 13 inches, very nice grip, and steering controls are here. You can toggle various things on the screen up there, and there's cruise control here. So this is just normal cruise control, yeah, and then these are you can change your settings, driver assistance, VDC setting, customize your display, vehicle settings, maintenance, and your clock adjustment. And also the rev counter comes by when you toggle this. See, it changes to your radio station, then you get your fuel consumption monitor, and also your driving information, how far you've gone, and all the settings for your car. And of course, back to the rev counter. The speedometer is on the right, and top speed goes up to 220. We're not going to test that, but well, this dashboard looks pretty nice and neat, and you can see here it's two-tone, and this is hard, this is soft, and hard again. Then you going down here, you have the power point, power socket, and also a USB. There's a little plug there for, I don't know what that is. This is your start stop button, and your gear lever, you get your normal park, R, N, D, and L. There is no shift, what you call manual shift, but of course there are, from D you can go to L. That's it, D and L, only two. This handbrake is mechanical. Actually, I like it. You know why? Because I'm old school. And why? Because this allows you to do some handbrake turns every once in a while. Okay, so 2 drink holders here, and an additional 2 in the sides, a little pocket. Of course, you get your wing mirror controls, and you get some stuff here. Yeah, okay, you get lights, yeah, reading lights, and overall dome lights. And let's see here. Yes, you get your mirror, but no light. Let's see this side. Also, no light. Yep. Now, what I like about this car is the visibility is very, very good. It's very nice and wide glass, and of course, they have also improved here. You can get better visibility by looking out through the little quarter glass here, and they have helped things by moving the mirror back a bit, so your overall visibility improves. In terms of the aircon control, it's just here. It's just a single zone control. Sorry, no aircon louvers at the back, just single zone. This is your speed, that's your speed, that's the fan speed, and that's the temperature. Okay, then your airflow is here and your demister, and that's about it. Quite a very simple car, not too complicated, but don't forget it will keep you safe because it has the front collision warning and emergency braking, which is pretty good for a car in this category. Yes, a lot of cars are beginning to have it, and this will soon become very, very commonplace. In terms of airbags, there are 6. So the normal 2 in the front, then the side airbags for the seats, and also the curtain airbags on the B pillar. Sitting at the back, the first thing you must check, of course, is the, oh my god, handles. Very good for the passenger to hold on. And there are 3, 1, 2, and 3. Driver doesn't need one. Okay, other than that, we look at the leg room. Now this seat is in its normal position, and I'm sitting at the back, and there is a good 8.5 inches of leg room here. Okay, we had Michael sit in the previous video, and he's 6'5". He can just barely fit in. So for average people like us, not a problem. And because the car is higher, there's a bit more headroom. Now another thing I like about this is the fact that the rear seats are angled a little bit, so you can actually relax on a long journey instead of having to sit up very straight. Yeah. So, and what they have also done is they have curved in the back of the seat to give you that little extra room, and of course there is this little cubby hole for you to slip your feet into so that you can actually relax. Now, seat at the back, there are actually 3 headrests, and so it's made for 5 people, but the 5th person has to be quite small. Yeah, this is a B segment car, and of course you have this, you can be a mini tauke, and you can put your little drink here, and you can charge your handphone with this little USB charger here. On the road, the Almera is quite a pleasure to drive. The suspension is on the firm side of comfortable, so it's comfortable, but at the same time it's not wallowing like a whale. So you get a very good balance of ride versus handling. Of course, the seats hold you quite well. They are contoured, and of course you can adjust for the rake and all that. And one thing I like about this car is that you can get your ideal sitting position, because the seats are adjustable for height, rake, and of course also fore and aft. And at the same time, the steering has got the up and down and in and out adjustments. Okay, the next worry is how does the 1 liter engine perform versus a car around this size would be about 1.5 liter engine. And well, my take on it is there are no issues, because first of all, the turbo gives 152 Newton meters of torque, and so that is very good for acceleration. And because torque comes in at a very early RPM, you get full power from very low down. So if you are a very normal type of driver, you hardly have to drive above 2000 RPM. Like right now, we're going at 70 kilometers per hour. This is a CVT with continuously variable ratios, yeah? And we are going at 1500 RPM. So the engine is just barely ticking over. Around corners, Well, we're taking this loop here at 65 kilometers per hour. I didn't use the brakes, and there's enough power to get you through firstly, and of course the handling is actually quite good. Yeah, the McPherson struts in the front are same with every car in this category, and at the back we have a torsion beam, which is also about the same for all the cars in this category. And the torsion beam construction, as I said earlier, there is a kind of like a U, so that provides a little bit of flex, so it's quite nice to drive, and it flexes a little bit, so it gives you that good handling characteristic. Okay, we are sharing this corner with this SUV, but we're just going through. And what about power? Okay, I'm accelerating, and that was really quick, wasn't it? We almost hit 100 kilometers per hour in this short stretch, and because the torque is so high, it just builds up speed very effortlessly. And of course the CVT always gives you the best ratio for you to climb up the speed, and the moment you lift off, it goes into high ratio and gives you good fuel economy. Now, we've done a fuel economy run, so watch our video on that one. But what is good about the CVT is the moment you take the load off, the CVT will go to the highest possible gear ratio and give you the best fuel economy. And because of that, you get the engine ticking over at a very low speed, and of course it consumes less fuel. And even when you're idling, the good thing about a 1 liter engine is that it uses less fuel even when idling. So you're waiting for your wife or daughter or your husband to go and tapao your food, and you want to enjoy a bit of aircon in the car, it's fine. I don't think it takes more than a liter per hour to just idle. And of course, the other good thing about this is the road tax. I checked on the car, so I don't know if it's a company registration or private registration, but it's 20 ringgit for a year. 20 ringgit, you can buy 2 chicken rice and maybe 1 teh tarik with it, and that's about it. And that's how much it costs to put your car on the road for a year. Now, given the choice, which car would I choose? Now, if budget is a concern, I would take the mid-spec, because the mid-spec has almost everything that this one has. Of course, if budget is not a problem, and if I can afford it, always go for the highest, because you can't go wrong. In terms of basic safety systems, all the models have this VDC traction control, and of course the ABS and BA, and also hill start assist, yeah. And the top 2 variants have the leather seat. So if you just take the middle variant, is good enough. That costs about 86,000. Okay, the other concern is, what about the 3 cylinders? People are a bit worried about 3-cylinder being out of balance and all. Well, if you're driving slowly, let's say you're going at this low speed that we are going, sorry, there's some rumble strips, you wouldn't even know. I had my cameraman was sitting here and asked him if he knew the difference. He said no, it feels the same. And if you are accelerating a bit, you hear a little bit of the 3-cylinder, but if you didn't know what to look for, you wouldn't know what it is, because all engines will make some noise when you accelerate, right? And in terms of power, no problem. And anyway, just let me tell you that Nissan have been building 1 liter engines for a very, very long time. Way back in the early 80s, I don't know if you remember, there was the Nissan March Turbo, and not only did it have a turbo, it had a supercharger as well. And the March did very well in rallying all over the world. And so having a 1 liter turbocharged engine is nothing new to Nissan. The other thing I like about this car is, of course, the visibility is very good. There's a very big windscreen, and you can see, okay, put the sun visor up, and you can see out through the screen without any issues. And of course the meters are very nice, and yeah, they made these meters for people who are young because it looks good. and also for people who are old, because the font is big enough. So you can easily see everything, that the outside temperature is 32 degrees, it's 3 o'clock and 15 minutes in the afternoon. The car has done 1,300 kilometers. Yep, and even the screen here, numbers are big. You know, it says camera, so you can see. So it's all good. And of course, I like the steering. It's got a nice feeling about it. And so, given a choice, would I buy this car? Well, I tell you one thing. If I am going to retire and I want to think about fuel consumption and having a low cost of running car, I would definitely consider something like this, because when I retire, I don't need to go very fast, and this car is actually made to go for fuel economy. Yes, it's got a powerful engine, but it's not a racing engine. 152 Newton meters of torque is not a racing engine, but it's very good for a car this size. And what it does for you guys is that it makes your driving easy. Your throttle pressure is light and you get good speed with it. It becomes very light to drive. It's very responsive. So you feel very good driving this car. Not like you're trying to accelerate and the car's not going, you know. That feels really, really frustrating, you know. All noise and no go. So in terms of fuel economy, it's very, very good. So watch our fuel economy video. In terms of power and acceleration, there is enough. Okay, it's not lacking in any way. When I say that's enough, that's more than enough for the average driver. But honestly speaking, if you're looking for a performance car to go racing and tear up and down the streets, no, this is not it. Because what a 1 liter does for this car is it gives you performance that is better than a 1.5, and of course much better fuel consumption. But it is not a high performance engine, because when they tune this engine, a 1 liter turbocharged engine, they can easily get 120, 130 horsepower out of this car if they wanted to. But no, they didn't. They tuned it for 100 PS to give it fuel economy, because that's the way the world is going. Yeah, right now fuel prices may be low, but there will come a time when the fuel prices will go up. But anyway, even if it's low, you still save a lot of fuel driving this car, and therefore you will save a lot of money too. So that's it, guys. This is it for the driving on the road. And if you like our video, please give it a like. And if you have not subscribed, you know what to do, guys. Please press the subscribe button. We need all the subscribers we can get. So till we meet again in our next video, thank you and bye bye.